And that insight, Gerard, is courtesy Gerome Sapp, who in his 5-year NFL career as a defensive back went up against Tom Brady and that potent Patriots offense a few times. Sapp played for both the Baltimore Ravens and Indianapolis Colts, but says it was his 2007 season with Baltimore when he felt his defense had the most success against New England. That was also the season that New England went undefeated but lost the Super Bowl. Here's Sapp on Brady and how the Eagles might throw him off his game.
Well, guys like Tom Brady and Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers, those guys are special because they beat you on Saturday, as we used to say, because you can never be truly right with them because they know exactly what you're going to do before you do it based on the personnel you have in the game. Any slight giveaway, they know what everyone's going to do. However, it's a game of chess. So for guys like that who know what you're probably in as a defense, you wait till the last minute. And we will sometimes rotate to a defense on HUT. So guys will be moving. That's why you have to be smart, and you have to have a defensive unit that plays together. And you have unique defenses that you can throw at them. It really hampers an offense, and it really throws their timing off too, which is, for a quarterback like Brady, that's the only way you can beat him, is if you throw his timing off and you throw him off his mark too.
He gets in a rhythm.
Exactly.
He's a rhythm quarterback.
It's a rhythm, yeah.
So that was the season when you were with the Ravens that they nearly went undefeated.
Yep.
Still, it's only the Dolphins. Let's be clear with that.
Yep.
Tell me about those unique defenses, though, that you found you had success.
Sure. Well, for example, we had 3 safeties in those defenses. I would come in as safety. I would come down and put my hand in the dirt and play nose guard as a 228-pound safety and actually rush too. So things like that, offenses weren't expecting me to come down and rush, let alone a third safety in the game. Or sometimes I'd come down as a linebacker or defensive end, and on the HUT, I'd sprint back to the middle of the field as a safety. Throwing them off, you know, so we had defenses where no one put their hand down. Everyone stood up, so the offense didn't know who was coming. So it's really being creative, but with being creative, it's one thing we always talked about is alignment and assignment. You know, you can move around, you can try to fake the quarterback out, as long as everyone aligned up where they needed to, and when the ball was snapped, everyone did what they needed to, which was the assignment part. And you have to have a unit that's very concise and very I guess put together. They know each other. I mean, Ed Reed and I knew what we were going to do as safeties, but we didn't have to say it. We just look at each other and, okay, you're going to do that. But I think the Eagles have an element of that. I think their defense overall, total defense, I think was number 2. And I think their rush defense was number 2 as well, and their pass defense, I think, is number 5. So they have all the components of that. It's just now executing on it.
You say they have the components, they have an element, but what level of that?
It's always the it factor. You know, when you get in these big games, it's the guys who can execute when they must under pressure. You know, there's a lot of people who don't like the Patriots. There's a lot of people who don't like Tom Brady. But for me, being an ex-player, seeing what they're able to do consistently, it's tough because you can get them one play, you can get them another play, but sooner or later they're going to crack your defense, basically. And it takes a solid defense, it takes a disciplined defense, and sometimes a veteran defense to stay disciplined all game long. And for guys like Tom Brady, all they need is 2 or 3 drives to put 2 or 3 scores on the board.
And what is it about the Patriots and their ability to produce in the second half?
Yep.
They come back. No lead is safe.
So I've been a part of teams like that with the Colts. When Peyton Manning was there, he put up 40, 50 points most of the games. And there were times when we didn't score a point, or maybe 3 or 7 points in the first half. And it was fine. No one panicked because we knew we were the best at making adjustments.
Last thing, who are you picking and why?
I think I'm going to go with the Patriots. As a former player that played in an offense that was very scheme-based with the Colts, you can lose a star guy, 2 star guys, but as long as the backup knew what to do, he could be just as effective as the star guy, sometimes even more because you don't have film on that guy and he can surprise you. But to do that year in and year out, playoff after playoff, Super Bowl after Super Bowl, I know how much goes into that, and especially Tom Brady being 40, I mean, that's incredible. So I'm kind of pulling for the old guy, I guess. And obviously he's not old, but in football days he's old. So I'm kind of pulling for him to do what no other quarterback has done at that age, and also pulling for the Patriots to keep that dynasty type thing because I know what went into it and goes into keeping it.
On that 2007 Ravens team with him was Ray Lewis, the great linebacker, who we learned today is being elected into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, along with fellow great linebacker from the Bears, Brian Urlacher, Terrell Owens. finally
TL.
getting
Yeah.
in.
Getting
Randy
in.
Moss getting in his first year, and Eagles safety Brian Dawkins. So
All right.
Philly
Wow, what a
has
list.
another reason to celebrate.